guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead reading. Just to let you know how the reading's going to go, we do your weekly check-in first. Then we have a look at more specifically your work, stroke finance, and we also have a look at your love life during the week. If you'd like to see a particular reading, so if you'd like to only look at your work reading or only your love reading or maybe just the general reading, timestamps are below. So you just click on the time and it will take you straight through to the reading that you want to view. I'd like to say, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me this week for your reading. And yeah, sit back, relax and enjoy. Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. So this is the 20th to the 26th of January 2020, week ahead reading. For the week, cards that I'm using are, for your week ahead reading general, we're using the This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman. We're also going to be using for any clarifiers that we might want to, any areas we might want clarified, we use the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. For your second reading, which just looks at your work and your love life for the week, we use the 78 Elemental Tarot. And this is by 81 artists, so there's 81 cards in there, 3 additional ones, and it's illustrated by 81 different artists. Amazing deck that is. For your advice, spiritual advice for the week, we are using the Quantum Oracle deck and also the Power of Surrender cards. Okay, so sit back, relax and enjoy. Hi Cancer, welcome to Carol's Universe. We're going to start your reading with your general reading for the week using the This Might Hurt Tarot. Okay, Cancerian, so your cards are down. How I do these particular Celtic crosses, I look at this area here as being the situation that you're experiencing this week, 20th to the 26th of January 2020, and I have a look at what's influencing that situation here and what the root issue is. What's the situation about? Okay, what is it all about in this area here? Now, this area here, because it's a weekly reading, I look at what's been happening with you guys in the last 2 to 3 weeks here, and therefore what is the most likely outcome for the week? How will the situation most likely be resolved in this area here? I have a look at here what's coming in, so this is kind of like your immediate future area, but because it's a week ahead reading, I'm looking at what's evolving maybe in the situation in between this week and the next 2. So really this for me is the next 2 to 3 weeks concerning the situation. This is how you're approaching everything. This is what the universe advises you to do or how you should approach things. This is what your hopes and fears are, and this is how everything is going to evolve going forward from this situation here. Hope that makes sense. Let's have a look at what the situation is some of you guys could be facing this week. Right, you've got a Queen of Swords. Funnily enough, I've just done Scorpio about, I don't know, 50 minutes ago, and they showed up as dealing with a King of Swords. I often feel that the King of Swords, I mean, that they're both nice people. Queen of Swords isn't too bad. She's just honest and abrupt. You might be dealing with somebody who's quite abrupt this week. Somebody, I'm not going to say that the Queen of Swords is confrontational, but she's definitely very direct when it comes to communication. So it feels like you're dealing with somebody who's very direct this week, somebody who's very kind of, you could deal with some criticism. Usually when I see a Queen of Swords, her criticism isn't particularly nasty. In the reverse, I would say that this person is a pretty nasty person. Especially when, in terms of how they criticize things, because usually the reason for them criticizing stuff or speaking their truth on stuff is usually because there's an underlying hurt or there's an underlying dislike or it's bitchiness or something like that with the Queen of Swords reverse. I would say in the upright though, Cancerians, usually this woman, the way that she talks about things or the way that she airs her views, that type of thing, it comes from a place of moral, a very strong moral code. So, for example, running my business, Carol's Universe, I have a business partner, my twin sister, and, we've got a few things coming up at the end of the month, event-wise, that type of thing, and she will say, no, you should be doing it like this. She becomes a Queen of Swords when she's very direct with her opinions. So, but she's not doing it nastily, she's just doing it because she wants to make sure that I'm doing things in the right way. So, you're dealing with some direct communication, I think, this week. It could come across as criticism, maybe. Might be somebody who's highly opinionated, that Queen of Swords energy. What's influencing her being there? Well, it could be about your money. Four of Coins. So it just feels like to me that this situation, the influence is all about money. So the influence of her giving you, and I wouldn't say it's a criticism, I would say probably advice. Because the King and the Queen of Swords is an advisor. It looks like you're being advised this week for some of you guys on your money. What's the reason for this all occurring though? Five of Cups. Now you guys might have, experienced some. It feels like you've had some disappointment around your finances, to be honest. You might have lost some money, for example, with the Five of Cups energy showing here. I mean, this could be somebody like a police officer, or because they are when you get the sword characters, they also work within the parameters of the law. So these are solicitors, they're police officers, they're DCIs, they're investigators. So there might be something about a scam maybe some of you guys have been through here, because it looks to me, Cancerians, it's about money, your savings. Four of Coins is all about your savings. And the reason that it's all occurring is because there's been a loss. Somebody's lost something here. Somebody's lost money. Five of Cups energy. There's disappointment. There's loss over money. You can see the cups are overturned. So cups as well, in terms of finances, when they're in the upright, especially the Ace of Cups, it's abundance. All right, so the abundance is lots of cash. So it looks to me like some of you guys might have lost lots of cash, for example, with the Five of Cups energy showing there. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, what have you been experiencing? Right, the moon energy. So you might have experienced somebody who came with trickery, or somebody who came presenting themselves in one way, but they were wearing a mask. So secrets, for example, things that are hidden with the moon energy. It could also be in the last 2 to 3 weeks that you've been kind of, getting some guidance on the matter as well with the moon energy. What's the most likely outcome, therefore, from this situation, Cancerians? The Hermit. I just feel with the Hermit energy, it feels like things are being looked into. So it feels like there is some form of a forensic type of investigation going in to the situation, because the Hermit is an investigator within the tarot. He or she is looking into things. They're looking for evidence. They're looking for clues. Remember, it's ruled by Virgo. So this is somebody who is, in the area of work and service. Somebody is providing a service. Somebody's looking into things. I think the most likely outcome is that, this is probably going to be an ongoing thing, because the Hermit is looking to find those clues. It's not talking about the situation is being resolved. It feels to me like the most likely outcome is this might be an ongoing investigation for some of you guys showing here. What is coming in this week, though? What can we see? Queen of Coins. So you're gaining more money with the Queen of Coins energy. I'm seeing you getting some money, or gaining money, or just financially trying to look after your money, that type of thing with the Queen of Coins energy. How are you guys approaching the situation here? This could also be a friend here who's helping you. Well, how are you approaching everything? I feel that you're keeping your head above water with the King of Cups energy, because the King of Cups is someone who is sitting on, you can see that the water is very rocky. And what happens with the King of Cups is that we are sitting, even though the tide and the water is very rocky, it's very, you can see it's all over the place really. And it's funny because you've got fishes all in that water there. Fishes for me represent money, all right? So it's almost like you're keeping your head above water. That's how it feels. It feels to me you're keeping a level head. King of Cups can represent Cancer, Scorpio energy anyway. Any one of them. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's a general reading. So it just feels that you're keeping your head above water. It feels like you've still got assets though. You've still got money, or you've still got some reserves because of all of the fishes in the water here. So it feels like you're keeping your head above water, number one. But it almost feels like you've got this dream as well, that you can make more money. So I just get the impression, Cancerians, that you're approaching this in a really positive way with that King of Cups energy there, which is good. What is the advice from the universe in this situation for you? The advice is judgment, all right. I feel the advice is that there will be a judgment made soon. So there's something that is going to come to the light, because I feel that the most likely outcome so far with the Hermit energy. But also judgment for me is making a rational judgment on a situation. Right? It's almost like you need to weigh up the pros and cons. You need to weigh up the pros and cons, because it just feels to me, and the judgment card is about, and just like justice in a way, weighing up those pros and cons, but also making a fair assessment. And I feel that the advice is that you have to kind of, and it almost feels to me is that you have to take some responsibility for what's happened here as well with the judgment energy. It just feels like judgment is saying, the universe is saying, the advice to you, Cancerians, is take some responsibility for this, and you have to really kind of look at this in a fair and rational way with that judgment energy. There may be a decision or something that comes to the light very, very soon, possibly with the judgment energy being your advice area there, but also it feels with the judgment energy that some of you guys really need to kind of weigh things up and kind of, you know, take responsibility for, you know, for your actions in a way with the judgment energy, because judgment is all about karma and you know, and karmic fallback of the decisions that you've made prior. What are the hopes or fears that some of you guys have? Page of Wands in the reverse. I think that you're either that you're going to get bad news, or that news is going to take a long time. Good news is going to take a long time to come through with the Page of Wands reverse. Where are things leading to? So what's evolving from this Queen of Coins energy going forward for you Cancerians? Well, no good news. Page of Cups energy is good news. Maybe some good surprising news. So the Page of Cups is all about good surprising news. I think I'm going to read it that way, in line with that. Because coming in is the Queen of Coins energy showing here. Alright, and evolving from that is the Page of Cups. So who is this Queen of Coins? Could it be a friend that's coming in to help with the Queen of Coins energy? Or are you receiving more money, getting more money? Because coming in is money. It's a money card, the Queen of Coins. Queen of Coins talks about you're gaining money, or it could be somebody who's helping to support you, and from that what's evolving is the Page of Cups energy showing it. I don't actually think that that's news actually when I think about it, because it's the evolvement, how I read it or how I do these Celtic crosses, this is the evolvement of this energy here. So the Page of Cups is the card about imagination, and it's about hope when you get the Page of Cups as well. I feel that this isn't money as such. I think this is a friend. Though it's a money card, I think it's a friend. I think it's somebody who's giving you some very grounded practical advice with that Queen of Coins. I mean, she could, you know, she could be somebody like an advisor, like a financial advisor could be the Queen of Coins. And from that energy showing there, what's evolving is the Page of Cups energy. Dreams, hopes, desires, laughter, happiness, a sense of, you know, a sense of optimism and positivity. So actually, I just feel that what's coming in, it's either a friend or maybe somebody is advising you on your finances, because I feel that you're getting advice. You've got two queens in the reading. Now, queens in a reading, sometimes you can read a couple of queens as being enemies, all right? And I do feel that, and gossip, but also two queens in a reading for me can be support. And I do feel that you've got some very strong, supportive, feminine energy around you. It's funny, with Scorpio, we had two kings. People in places of authority, power, that type of thing, and people that can help you in those places. But queens in readings tend to be people who are very supportive, very gentle, very understanding. So I actually feel that I'm going to read, even though two queens can be gossip, it doesn't feel like that on this reading here. What it feels like is that you've got some very strong supportive, whether it's males or females that are doing it, Cancerians, you have some very, very strong supportive energy, feminine energy, but not just feminine, I mean nurturing energy. It feels like you're being nurtured and you're being supportive in a really kind and gentle way this week. Because I think that some of you guys have lost some money here. The root issue is you lost money, Five of Cups energy here, and now you're being advised on your savings with the Four of Coins energy, maybe even how you can protect the rest of your earnings and your money. With the Four of Coins is also protecting your finances, showing here. Just in the last 2 to 3 weeks, there's either been worries or fears, or somebody did something around money. Maybe you had money stolen. Maybe this money went in the last 2 to 3 weeks. With the Moon energy showing here, maybe there was somebody who was plotting something in the last 2 to 3 weeks, and that's how you lost your money, for example. You know, maybe you invested in a scheme, that's how you lost your money. But I think that the most likely outcome is that the investigation done via maybe this Queen of Swords energy, it feels like somebody might be working within the government or the police or the law, maybe you're dealing with here. I think the investigation is going to be ongoing as the most likely outcome. However, coming in is the Queen of Coins. This might be somebody who is advising you on money matters. Queen of Coins can be like a tax advisor, or, you know, just a plain old financial advisor, advising you on your, you know, the money in your bank, your pensions, how much you've got, that type of thing. And I feel that you guys are, with that King of Cups, how you're approaching everything is you're approaching it with a level head. Level-headedness is the King of Cups. Also, I feel that you're kind of willing to weather the storm here. So you're keeping your head above water. You're okay. You do have still some resources anyway with the fishes in the water there. The advice is, I feel that you have to take accountability for what's happened here. Because judgment is basically the reason why you've probably gone through some of this is because of an action that you took which probably wasn't the right thing to do. Your fear is the Page of Wands in the reverse. So that is probably not getting the good news that you're looking for, and probably with the Page of Wands in the reverse showing here, news being delayed or having to wait for the good news. But I do feel as a result of whether this is a friend who's helping you with the Queen of Coins, or somebody who's giving you some practical grounded advice, or somebody who's helping you financially here, I feel that how it's evolving is for you with the Page of Cups energy. I feel that this gives you a renewed sense of hope with that Page of Cups energy. It enables you to start to believe again and dream again. So all hope is not lost within this reading. It's a very, very good reading, actually. Excellent. All right, we're going to have a look then at what the advice for you is on this week ahead reading through the Quantum Oracle. Universe, Spirit, in one card, what is the advice you have for Cancerians this week? What is the advice you have for Cancerians this week? Show me one card. So it says consciousness, victim mentality. I think the advice is, if you are feeling and I think that the good thing with you guys is that you're not adhering to that. I really feel that you're not. I don't think that you are. But it's saying that if you should feel, a victim with this victim mentality energy showing here, all right, I actually feel that you need to, there's an event card here, move towards travel. It's an event, but for me, this is move towards letting this go with the energy, letting the energy go. So if you, and there will be times with that victim mentality that you'll say, why me? What have I done to deserve this? That type of thing, Cancerians. But I do feel if that kind of gets to you, then you need to kind of, with this travel card here, I think that you need to try and travel, move away from that energy, and you need to try and find a way that you can actually let go of the energy showing here, okay? Find a way to let go of it, because yeah, some of you guys, I won't lie, you may be responsible for what's happened here, but the good thing is that you're getting a lot of sympathy, because you've got those queens in the reading. Get a lot of sympathy. Yes, you have to face up to the action, the judgment energy. You have to take accountability for your actions, because whatever you've done probably has brought this in. But at the end of the day, you do have the help around you. You've got people who support you. You've got people who are understanding. Hence, I'm reading the Two Queens as that. I know that you usually read Two Queens as gossip and blah, blah, but I'm not reading. It just feels like incredibly supportive energy here this week. So you are being supported. It's all good. It's all good. It really is. The situation is, I think, ongoing. The investigations will be ongoing. But at least you've got someone here, whether they're an advisor, financial advisor, whether there's somebody in the family that's giving you some practical, grounded advice. For example, this queen could be saying, look, don't worry, you haven't lost everything. You can, you do have some reserves. You can start again. You can start trying to do something again. And from that energy, it might be your wife, it might be your friend, it might be your girlfriend, it could be anyone. From that, this allows you to start kind of imagining again and dreaming again, Because some of you guys have been beating yourself up, but I don't think that you need to do that, because I think that we all make mistakes. And I think that if you can just kind of say, yeah, I made a mistake on this one, but you know what, I won't make the mistake again. I think you just need to admit to that, to be honest with you. I think that things will be good, and I think you've got some really good supportive energy around you concerning this. All right, we're going to come back with your work and your love reading. Bear with me. Okay, Cancerians, let's have a look at what's going on in the 10 card reading for work. All right, so you've got the Queen of Cups, which is, this is you, isn't it? Because Queen of Cups is Cancer energy. So there's a real love of what you do. When you get the Queen of Cups in a work reading, for me, when I see this card, it's all about loving what you do. Really loving, having an emotional connection to the work that you do with the Queen of Cups energy showing here. Yeah, and I think it just grows even more. I think that the emotional connection to what you guys do for a living, I think it grows and it flourishes even more with that Ace of Cups energy showing there. Five of Wands energy though, you've got the Five of Wands. Five of Wands can represent blocks and I feel that it almost feels like with the Queen of Cups energy as well, it feels like some creative or desires that you have. It's almost like the work that you do and the desire that you have in your work, especially when it comes to flourishing. So it almost feels with the Ace of Cups, because we've got this Five of Wands kind of trying to block that energy. Wands don't work really with water, because water tends to, for me, it dampens fire, doesn't it? It puts it out. So it's interesting. You could read this a couple of ways, because we've got two water cards and a fire card here. And so we could say that perhaps with the work that you do, the love of what you do grows, okay? And I feel that this is able to then dampen the Five of Wands, the worries, the fears. So because we've only got the one kind of nasty card, no, it's not a nasty card, but the one sort of negative card when it comes to certain things in work, it just feels to me like the work that you do, the love, the passion with the Queen of Cups that you have for what you do grows every day. And it grows even more this week. And I think that this helps to dampen any worries or any fears that you have with this Five of Wands energy, or any kind of negative. So this might be something to do with not necessarily working within a company, but literally doing something that you love, okay? It might be some of you guys have a fear about kind of moving from one particular job to the other, you know, going sole trader, or going, you know, self-employed, or starting your own business. And it might be that you've got some worries about that, but it might be for some of you Cancerians that because you love what you do so much, with this Queen of Water energy, the Queen of Cups energy, and it seems to be that it grows every day. The Ace of Cups is abundance, so it's flourishing. It's, you know, it's completely kind of flourishing and growing, and the water is gushing out. So there's a great love for what you do, and there's a great emotional connection to what you do. It seems to kind of dampen that Five of Wands energy sitting there. Okay, we've got the Judgment energy. So some of you guys might be a little bit nervous about getting judged, though, because the Five of Wands energy is being judged. So I actually feel that these two cards are saying that Cancerians really love what they do, and that love for what you do grows. But there is a worry here about, I think, with the Five of Wands being the card of anxiety and worry, and judgment about being judged, with the Judgment energy showing here. Ace of Coins energy. It might be about making money from it. So you might love what you do, but it might be that you're worried that with the Judgment you're being judged. So it might not be that you're being judged for what you do, but somebody might be saying, you know, well, I'm worried about kind of, you know, you might be worried because people are saying to you, shit, you know, but can you make money from this? Because the judgment that's being levied against you, Cancerians, is the Eight of Coins. Can I literally make money from this work? So this doesn't feel like a job. It feels like something that you want to do to make money from, like running your own thing. Let's have a look at the next one. You've got the Ten of Cups energy showing here. So Ten of Cups, tens are ending of cycles, but tens are also, this Ten of Cups is also about emotional, you know, emotional satisfaction, that type of thing. The Eight of Coins. So I just feel that you guys feel a great deal of emotional satisfaction in this work with the Eight of Coins, because the Eight of Coins is the work, and the emotional satisfaction is the Ten of Cups. So I actually feel that there's a great deal of emotional satisfaction that this work brings to you, showing up here. High Priestess, things hidden or intuition, but intuition maybe. Page of Swords, maybe you need to research a little bit more about this. Page of Swords is to research, learn. Four of Fire, Four of Wands, whether this thing is something that you can build, something that you can grow, something that will bring stability as well, because the Four of Wands is stability. So what I think is happening for work here, for some of you Cancerians, is that you have a great emotional connection to something that you do. It started off probably being a hobby, and it started off being something that you really want to earn money from. And I feel that this emotional connection to the work that you do really does grow with that Ace of Cups every single day. And this week it feels like it's flourishing. Your creativity is flourishing. The love for what you do is flourishing here, but there are worries in terms of judgment. So in terms of the judgments that are being levied against you, Cancerians, as to whether this thing that you really love doing, can you make money from it? So even though you love what you do, Cancerians, people are saying, yeah, you might like it, but can you make money from it? But I do feel that there is a great sense of achievement and contentment on an emotional level with that Ten of Cups in terms of the work that you do, in terms of this work, and in terms of the service that you provide as well. I feel that because the Eight of Coins is ruled by its third decan Virgo. Zodiac sign Virgo is work and services, so it's where astrologers would go for work and services. Okay, they would look into that house for work and service. So that is work and services. So the Eight of Coins is all about putting out the work, providing a service and getting paid. I do feel, therefore, that there is a great deal of emotional contentment and satisfaction with that Ten of Water here in terms of the service that you provide and in terms of the work that you do. But I feel that some of you guys this week are wanting to really focus and hone in on your intuition, showing here with the High Priestess energy. And some of you guys are saying, my intuition is telling me, however, maybe I need to learn a little bit more, find out a little bit more with this Page of Swords energy showing here as to whether this is something that I can build as a stable business, whether this is something that will bring me financial stability, force of stability, okay? It's brilliant. It's a really good reading. I mean, you certainly know that what you want to do is you want to earn money from it, but there are people who are kind of saying, yeah, this is great, but literally it's either they're going to say, well, the market's saturated, how are you going to earn money in this market? Or they'll say, well, do you really feel people are going to buy this thing though? You really believe in it because you feel so contented, emotionally satisfied in terms of the work that you do here. And also if you look here, she looks like she's weaving, doesn't she? So this might be something to do with arts and crafts, for example, some of the stuff that you do. And also I feel with the Ten of Water as well, you feel a great sense of satisfaction in terms of, you know, not just the fact that, not just what you do, but also the service that you can provide to others, i.e. you're highly skilled. The 8 means skills and they mean accomplishment, especially that 8 of coins there. This is somebody who is mastering a skill. So some of you guys are completely satisfied that you have mastered this skill. You're at the top of your game. You're really, really good at what you do. So you say to yourself, yeah, but I know that I'm really good at what I do. I know that the product that I'm putting out there, that people would really like it. But still, your intuition this week will say, that's great. So you know who you are, Cancerians. You know that you can provide a really good service. But your intuition will still tell you this week, Cancerians, that you still need to research is the Page of Swords, finding things out is the Page of Swords. You're still going to need to find shit out. Basically, is this something that I can build as a stable business? Is this something that can bring stability to me? Is this something that will pay my mortgage? Is this, and you might need to do that, especially if you're already in a job before walking out on that job. I just feel that more information is needed, more research. But it's a brilliant start anyway. It's an absolutely brilliant start. All right, we're going to have a look finally at your love reading. Bear with me. Okay, Cancerians, let's have a look at what's going on for you guys and love this week. What do the cards say? Okay, you've got the Hangman. So the Hangman in a love reading is often when things are held in suspense. Sometimes this card can actually indicate that somebody feels really comfortable in a relationship. But also the Hangman means that there are delays. Things are being held in suspense in a relationship with the Hangman energy showing here. Let's have a look. The Queen of Coins. Okay. So the Queen of Coins, Cancerians, that's not you. I mean, that could be somebody else. Or the Queen of Coins, often how I read her in a love reading, is somebody who has a value. This is somebody who has value. So she holds on to a value. She values the things that she loves because she holds something of great value here, all right? I feel with the Hanged Man that you're changing a perspective here on something that you once valued. I think there's a change of perspective because the Hanged Man is a change of perspective and this is on something that you value. So I get the impression, Cancerians, there's a change of perspective in something that you once valued showing here, okay? And I feel that you're accepting something here with the Ten of Swords energy. The King of Swords. So the King of Swords, I think, is a person around you. All right, accepting. So almost like you're this person. A King of Swords is interesting because the King of Swords doesn't have to be a nasty a person in a love reading, but it's certainly someone who often will show up as being somebody who is emotionally disconnected. Well, we know that Cancerians can be quite emotional or quite nurturing individuals, that type of thing. All right, let's have a look. It feels like somebody is very different to who you are. It feels like you're accepting somebody who's very different to who you are because he is. If you're a Cancerian and you're all about the love, usually you're someone who really likes the idea of nurturing others, loving others. You love deeply. All right, I have Cancerians in my family. I know that they love deeply. They might hide their emotions a lot of the time, but they love deeply. The King of Swords can be somebody very different. So I think that you're accepting there's somebody very different to who you are. And there's somebody who has a different perception of love to how you have a perception of love with this King of Swords energy showing here. And you've got the Ace of Coins energy showing here, okay? So I feel that you're accepting that there is somebody who is very different or has a different perception to what you have a perception on. The Ace of Coins energy. So the Ace of Coins is starting to plant, starting to build a life with someone here. You might be accepting that somebody doesn't want to commit because the King of Swords has the sword. He's like, I don't want. He's disconnected. So it almost feels like you're accepting that somebody does not want to necessarily commit to a relationship. And it will be this King of Swords with the Ace of Coins. He doesn't want to commit to the commitment, doesn't want to commit to the relationship or start building something in the relationship. Let's look at the next one here. So that's you. Chariot. So you show us the Queen of Cups. You show us the Chariot, which is you, Cancerian. I feel that you guys are really kind of taking charge here with the Chariot energy here. The Death energy showing here. So the Death energy is an ending. It's a change. There's a transition here with the Death energy showing here. I feel that you're taking charge here. I feel with the Death energy, there's a transformation. There's an ending showing here. And also I think that you've gone as far as you can go in these two energy here, because death is the ending. It's almost like a car crash in a way. It sounds really weird, but car, chariot, ending, death. So it's almost like the car doesn't start anymore. So it almost feels like you guys have accepted that, you know, you've gone as far as you can go within this relationship here. 5 of Earth, 5 of Pentacles energy here. So there is a lack here. 5 of Pentacles in a love reading means rejection, or it means that you don't gel with the partner. You are not the same thing. You don't share the same values. I feel that you've gone as far as you can go. You don't share the same values because you're surrendering here with the Ten of Swords energy to this person here. You're accepting. The Ten of Swords really is about acceptance. So really what you're doing here, Cancerians, is you're accepting that this person doesn't, and actually, of course, the Ace of Coins means value as well. You're accepting that this person here really doesn't share your values. All right, they don't want what you want. And I feel that you've gone as far as you can go. And with this 5 of Coins energy showing here that you don't, again, there is a lack of values here. There is not a shared value with the 5 of Coins energy showing here. The 4 of Swords showing up here. So I feel with the 4 of Swords, this is all about healing, and this can be illness. So I feel that you've gone as far as you can go, and I feel the focus will be on healing with the 4 of Swords energy, the illness, and the lack and the disappointment that has been felt within this relationship showing up here, okay? You got the 2 of Cups energy. I would say that this is probably withdrawing from the relationship just by how the other cards are aspected. I think that some of you guys are, you know, you've gone as far as you can go with the Chariot and the Death energy showing here. This 5 of Coins energy showing here is all about rejection and lack, and a couple that don't really... And also you'll accept with the 10 of Swords energy showing here that you are not... that neither one of you lives up to the other's expectations. Neither one of you fits into the other person's life, because the 5 of Coins will show up in a love reading when you don't fit into that person's life. They don't introduce you to their friends, or that person doesn't fit into your life. You don't really get on with their family. So I feel that you accept that neither one of you fits into the other person's life. So it might be that what you say here is actually, I'm going to withdraw now, 4 of Swords energy, from this relationship of the 2 of Cups. So I feel that this will be a week for some of you Cancerians for withdrawing from a relationship. We're going to get that reading again. I see that your values, Earth, Queen of Pentacles, are changing. Your perspective has changed on the values that you once held with the Queen of Coins energy. You've accepted, 10 of Swords, that a King of Swords does not share your values, but also you accept that this person doesn't want to commit, I believe here. I feel that you feel, Cancerians, you've gone as far as you can go with Death and the Chariot energy showing here, and you've also accepted that neither one of you really fits into the other person's life, and therefore I think you'll consider probably withdrawing from this union, from this relationship. Let's have a quick look at what you need to surrender this week, Cancerians. Universe, Spirit, what is it that Cancerians need to surrender between the 20th and the 26th of January 2020. What is it that Cancerians need to surrender to or surrender? Let's have a look. Right, you need to surrender to Spirit. All right, so once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let Spirit work its magic for you. Fantastic. Alright guys, that is your reading for the week. I'd like to say I really enjoy doing the Celtic crosses actually for the week. Let me know if you prefer those to the other way I was doing it before. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you would like your own private reading, go to the comment section and click on the link in there or the description box. Also, there's a host of goodies on the YouTube channel for you guys, just as a thank you for sticking by me. I wasn't around for most of a couple of months towards the end of the year, so I really wanted to put some stuff up. There's a month ahead reading for Cancerians. There's also a 6-month year ahead reading going from January through to June 2020 as well. I'll try and put links on all of those readings if I can. There'll be certainly links to some of them, but you can certainly find them on the YouTube channel if you look hard enough. All right, take care guys, love you, have a great week, bye bye.